Hello, as part of the Eriks series, I'm here today with Eriks Atvars, Global Head of Structured Trade and Export Finance at UniCredit. Eriks, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What were the biggest surprises from 2018?
That's a very good question, as on a daily basis there's a lot of things that can surprise us. But I think for us, one of the big surprises to me was a perceived risk climate that was heading towards more uncertainty, more volatility, and therefore one would think an increase, for example, in risk margins and the appetite of what banks are willing to do. But at the same time, in contradiction to that, a continued strong push of liquidity and therefore very aggressive lending activity from a lot of banks. So in pockets of particular countries, for example, you would think an increased risk would lead to increased returns, but that was not happening, and that surprised me.
Okay, and do you think that those trends will continue into 2019, or do you think there's something in store for this year?
I don't expect a jolt, a big change. We started to feel some upward pressure in areas of activity in 2018 that I think will continue. But there's still a lot of appetite for lending. There is, even in volatile times, a lot of commercial activity ongoing. So I think it'll be a slow adjustment as we move away from QE and therefore liquidity moves from one pocket perhaps to another. But I don't expect a major jolt in terms of returns or volume of business.
And we're living in some interesting times right now. What do you think will be your biggest challenge in 2019?
I think it'll continue to be the question of navigating through all the uncertainties. You have geopolitical developments, you have economic turmoil, you have political debate within Europe, let alone Brexit and the outcome. So continuing to navigate through all of that is what is the greatest challenge, I think, also for us in 2019. But it also offers opportunity, and I think that's what makes this area of activity special.
Yeah, indeed. And in terms of opportunities, or even in perhaps in terms of threats, what about new technology in the marketplace?
New tech, as far as our own personal activity is concerned, of course, we're using a lot of technology to make the world smaller. So as I mentioned, I've got team members that are located in various hubs in Europe and across the globe. So using technology to communicate, work together as a global team always helps. But export finance is and remains a people's business. So I don't think that's going to change with technology. It's not a flow business that will benefit from things like blockchain or ledger technologies. We might use it in here or there to simplify some documentation aspects maybe of the business, but I don't think it will dramatically change how we work. On the other side, as far as business flows are concerned, we can expect, of course, a lot of capital expenditures, investments into technologies, 5G, for example. So a lot of major investment that will need to be financed. And so that will hopefully also offer opportunities for our area of activity.
What do you think the opportunities for structured trade will be in 2019 with regards to new markets and different market segments?
Excellent question. We're all hunting for the next new opportunity. I think we've seen a lot of significant development into new areas such as the cruise ship industry. So a lot of ship financings taking place that include ECA covered financings supporting that. There's definitely potential coming down the line on the tail of the 5G licenses in telecoms and the technology investments that will be necessary there. And also, as it is with export financing, we react also to developments, geopolitical, economic, and otherwise. So whilst many fret tariff wars, that also leads to maybe shifts in investment flows. So we're even seeing now, for example, new potential investments into steel production capacities within the US that could therefore also offer opportunities. So there's always possibilities. Volatility breeds opportunity, as we like to say, and export financing is always there to play its role.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.